I don't understand, Dad. Why him? I tried to keep my voice steady, but my hand was shaking. Richard Carter leaned back in his leather chair, eyes cold behind gold-rimmed glasses. Alex, I've made my decision. Ryan will inherit everything. I felt my stomach drop. Everything? You mean nothing for me? He didn't flinch. You've never understood responsibility, Alex. You're selfish. Always have been. Selfish? Me? I laughed, though it came out bitter. Selfish? I've worked my whole life for this family. I've supported Ryan when he couldn't handle a single deal on his own. Ryan, standing quietly by the window, gave me that infuriating smile, the one that always made people think he was innocent. Come on, Alex. Dad knows what he's doing. You'll understand someday. Understand? I'm trying to understand how you get the reward after every mistake. Ryan, how do you get everything while I get nothing? My voice cracked. Richard waved a hand, dismissive. I've already explained. You're reactive. You act on emotions. Ryan, he's calculated, patient, capable. Capable, I shouted, pacing the room. Capable of stabbing me in the back while I trusted him? You call that capable? Ryan shrugged. Don't make it sound like betrayal. You made your choices, Alex. I stopped, staring at him. Choices? You conned Dad into thinking you're perfect. You lied, Ryan. You smiled while planning this behind my back. He leaned against the wall, casual. It's not lying if you never promised anything, right? I felt my chest tighten. My father's gaze didn't soften. You're letting him speak like that? I asked, voice trembling. After everything, Richard's expression was unreadable. I'm letting you learn, Alex. Life isn't fair. You should accept that. I laughed hollowly, feeling tears burn my eyes. Accept? You mean watch him take my future while I get blamed for being upset? Ryan took a step forward, still smiling. Maybe it's time you stop feeling sorry for yourself and do something about it. Or just walk away. Walk away. The words cut deeper than any insult. I clenched my fists. You think it's that simple? Just walk away while you take everything I work for? Maybe it should be simple, Dad said quietly, almost indifferent. You've always been weak, Alex. Too sentimental. That's why you fail. I swallowed hard, my throat tight. Fail? You call this failing? Because I can't betray my own brother. Richard leaned back, sighing. Not about betrayal. About understanding reality. Ryan has proven himself worthy. You haven't. I felt the room spin. The life I thought I had, the inheritance, my father's approval, the sense of belonging, it was gone. So what now? I just leave. Leave, or accept your place, Dad said. It's your choice. But stop whining. You're being selfish. Selfish. That word echoed in my mind like a hammer. I wanted to scream, to throw something, to shake them both until they understood the depth of their cruelty. But I didn't. I stood frozen, trying to process the magnitude of the betrayal. Ryan's grin didn't falter. I guess congratulations are in order, Alex. Enjoy freedom. Freedom. The words sounded hollow. My inheritance, my dreams, my trust, all taken. By the one I called family. By the one I thought I knew. I clenched my fists one last time, feeling anger, despair, and disbelief crash over me. I'll be back, I said softly, more to myself than anyone else. You haven't seen the last of me. No one responded. I walked out, the doors slamming behind me, leaving my so-called family in silence, and my perfect life in ruins. I couldn't stop thinking about it. Every word Dad said replayed in my head, twisting me up. I needed someone to talk to, someone who wouldn't judge me for feeling broken. I called Emily. Can you meet me? Now. She answered almost immediately. Alex, are you okay? You sound off. I'm fine. Just need to see you. I forced a calm I didn't feel. Within 20 minutes, we were sitting on the park bench we'd spent summers at since middle school. Emily didn't waste time with small talk. So what happened? I exhaled, furious and tired all at once. Dad gave everything to Ryan. Everything him. Not a word to me, not even a hint. Her eyes widened. Everything? Alex. That's shocking. Shocking doesn't even begin to cover it. He called me selfish for even asking why. My voice trembled. Selfish. Emily reached over, gripping my hand. Alex, you're not selfish. You're human. You have every right to be angry. I shook my head, staring at my hands. Angry isn't enough. I trusted him. I helped Ryan get his first clients, helped him with his projects. I covered for him when he messed up deals. I told Dad he was ready. And now nothing. Not a damn thing. Emily's voice was soft but firm. Then he made a choice, Alex. That doesn't erase your efforts or your worth. I snapped, almost yelling. But it does erase me. All my loyalty, all my hard work. It's like it never existed. And Ryan, he just sits there, smiling like he earned it. Emily tilted her head. Have you talked to him? I glared. Talked? Emily. He's the reason I feel like I'm suffocating. He acts like he did nothing wrong. I remembered the smirk on Ryan's face when Dad announced the inheritance. You really think Dad made the right choice? I asked her bitterly. He's blind if he thinks Ryan deserves it. Emily frowned. Maybe Dad's blind. Maybe Ryan's lucky. But that doesn't mean you're any less capable. You just need to step back, breathe, and figure out your next move. Next move? I laughed, bitter and low. My next move is figuring out how to survive a world where my family stabbed me in the back. With a person I trusted the most, my own blood, pretends like none of it matters. Emily leaned closer. Alex, you can't change what happened, but you can control what you do next. Don't let Ryan win by letting this break you. I clench my fists. He already thinks he's won. He doesn't even see me as competition. He smiles, acts innocent, and Dad, he calls me selfish. My voice cracked. How do you come back from that? Emily stayed silent a moment, letting me vent. Then she said quietly, by proving you're stronger, by showing him that betrayal doesn't define you. I remembered every single time I helped Ryan, every presentation I prepped, every lie I covered up for him, every warning I gave Dad about his mistakes. And now he had everything while I had nothing. You know what's worse? I muttered, barely audible. I can't even tell Dad he's wrong. He'll never admit it. I'll just look bitter, selfish. Emily shook her head. You're not bitter, Alex. You're hurt. That's normal. And you'll get through it. I promise. I stared at her, wishing I believed it. I don't know if I can forgive him. Ryan, I don't think I ever can. She nodded, eyes serious. Then don't. You don't have to forgive him yet. Focus on yourself, your path, your growth. I exhaled slowly, trying to calm the storm inside me. I can't believe he did this. Not Ryan. Not Dad. Not like this. Emily squeezed my hand. Then let it fuel you. Don't let it destroy you. Make them see what they lost. I looked up, feeling a surge of anger and determination. I will. Ryan, he'll regret this. I swear it. And Dad, he'll see too. They just don't know it yet. Emily smiled faintly. Good. Let that fire guide you, Alex. But don't burn yourself in the process. I nodded, biting my lip. I won't. I can't. I have to be smarter, stronger, better than they ever expected. As we stood up to leave, I glanced back at the fading sunlight. I felt a cold certainty settle over me. I would never forget this betrayal, and I would never forgive it easily. I didn't go back home. I couldn't. Every corner, every room reminded me of their smiles, their false kindness, the way Dad dismissed me and Ryan smirked. I walked aimlessly through the city, feeling like I'd been exiled from my own life. I dialed a number I hadn't called in months. Mr. Collins, it's Alex. Can we meet? Alex? Of course, come by the office, his calm voice replied. Everything all right? Not really, I admitted. I need advice. He leaned back in his chair when I arrived. Sit down. Talk to me. I slumped into the chair across from him. It's Dad, Ryan, everything. They took it all. I have nothing. No money. No inheritance. Not even respect. Mr. Collins nodded slowly. Sounds like betrayal. Painful, yes. But that doesn't define you. Tell me what's going through your head. I ran my hands through my hair. I trusted them. I worked my ass off for them. And now, I'm left with nothing. Ryan's grinning. Dad's cold. I feel powerless. Powerless, he asked. Or just unprepared for their choices. Does it matter? I snapped. I'm living it. Every day, every moment, I realized they didn't care about me at all. Alex, trust can be misplaced, yes. But anger can be dangerous if you let it consume you. I can't just let it go, I said, voice shaking. They humiliated me, made me feel like a child. I can't. I won't be weak anymore. He leaned forward, eyes sharp. Then don't. But channel it. Don't let rage blind you. Use it to build yourself. I swallowed hard. I don't even know where to start. I can't pay rent. I can barely cover meals. And people keep looking at me like I'm less than. Like I failed somehow. That's society, not you. Strength isn't measured by what others hand you. It's measured by how you respond when stripped of everything. I thought about Ryan, smug as ever. About Dad, cold as stone. And what about them? Watching me struggle, smiling, because they think I can't fight back. Mr. Collins shrugged. Let them watch. Let them underestimate you. That will be their mistake, not yours. I spent the night at a cheap hostel, unable to sleep. I pulled out a small notebook I'd kept since college. Maybe I should write. I whispered to myself. Pull this out. Make sense of it. Plan something. The pen scratched across the page. They took everything, but I won't let it break me. Ryan thinks I'm weak. Dad thinks I'm selfish, but I'll prove them wrong. I wrote my thoughts, my anger, my sorrow. Every memory with Ryan. Every time I'd helped him, every piece of advice Dad ignored. It poured out onto the paper. I didn't just write for release. I wrote to remind myself of what I'd lost and what I had to regain. A knock on my door startled me. Alex. It was Mr. Collins, standing in the hallway. You need someone to remind you. Even in exile, you're not alone. You're stronger than you think. I feel like a stranger in my own life, I admitted. Like everything I knew is gone. And maybe it is, he said gently, but that's your chance to rebuild it. On your terms. With your rules. And if Ryan thinks he's won, let him think that. Let it fuel you. I stared at the notebook, at the words I'd scrawled. Rage, heartbreak, humiliation, but also a strange spark. A plan, a desire to rise again. I'll do it, I whispered. I'll find a way. And they'll see me, not as the boy they ignored, but as someone they can't break. He nodded, satisfied. Good. That's the first step, Alex. Start small, one day at a time. But don't stop. Not now. I closed the notebook, feeling the weight of solitude, but also a flicker of purpose. For the first time since the betrayal, I felt alive. I couldn't sleep. Every memory with Ryan and Dad kept flashing in my mind, sharp as knives. I grabbed my notebook and started talking to it like it could understand me. Remember when we were 12, Ryan? I whispered. I covered for you when you stole Dad's watch. I lied, told him I had it. You smiled and didn't even say thank you. A laugh escaped me, bitter and dry. And every time you failed a test, I tutored you, made excuses, whispered answers when no one was looking. And what did I get? Nothing. I paused, staring at the blank wall. I remembered Dad praising you after the science fair, even though I built half the project. He said you had talent. Me? I got nothing. Just quiet nods. Just expectations. I shook my head, and I never realized it. I thought he was proud of me. I thought I mattered. I thought Ryan cared about me. I was wrong on all counts. I muttered aloud, my fingers gripping the notebook. You were always calculating, weren't you, Ryan? Smiling, charming, pretending you needed me, pretending we were brothers. And I fell for it every time. My chest tightened. I helped you, and you betrayed me. I gave you everything, Ryan, everything, and you took it and smiled. How could I be so blind? I imagined him leaning against the kitchen counter, smirking while Dad signed the inheritance papers. You really are talented at pretending, Ryan. I should have seen it sooner. A memory came to me, softer this time. Remember Dad lecturing me about responsibility? Alex, you're too emotional. You need control. Control? I thought I had it. I thought I was doing right. And he favored you every time. I slammed the notebook shut, frustration burning through me. It's not just Ryan. It's Dad too. How long was this favoritism going on? How many times did he watch me give my best and ignore it, reward you? I exhaled sharply. I've been angry, yes, but also blind. I wanted their approval so badly that I ignored every warning. I ignored the signs that Ryan didn't care. That Dad, he never cared about fairness, only his version of it. I shook my head, voice breaking. I can't keep doing this. I can't stay here, stuck in memories, stuck in the shadow of their choices. I have to change. I leaned back and spoke to the empty room. I'll stop being passive. Stop being the one everyone expects to bend to forgive, to ignore their own feelings for them. I have to fight for myself now. The notebook became my sounding board. I'll use these memories, not as chains, but as fuel. Ryan's betrayal won't define me. Dad's coldness won't destroy me. I'll prove my worth. I'll do it on my terms, not theirs. I remember the nights I stayed up helping Ryan, telling myself it was loyalty, family, love. No more, I whispered. I won't be your backup plan anymore. Not for anyone. My hand shook slightly as I wrote. Every time I see him smiling, every time Dad calls me selfish, it will remind me why I can't stay the same. I won't be weak. I won't be ignored. I will rise. The silence of the room wrapped around me, comforting and isolating all at once. I've wasted too much time on their games, I said quietly. Now it's my turn. My life. My choices. My fight. I closed the notebook and leaned my head against the wall, finally calm in my determination. Rage and sorrow still lingered, but beneath them, a spark of something stronger. Something unstoppable. I'm done being a victim, I whispered. It's time to live for me. I met Emily at her usual cafe, the one tucked in a corner where no one ever looked too closely. Emily, I think I need a plan, I said, sliding into the booth. She raised an eyebrow, sipping her coffee. Plan? Alex, I thought you were focusing on surviving first. I am, I said, but surviving isn't enough. Ryan thinks he's untouchable. Dad thinks I'm weak. I need to build something, a reputation that's mine, not theirs. Emily nodded slowly. Okay, then what's your first move? I leaned forward, voice low. Work. I've been scrapping by, picking up odd jobs, but I need stability. I need money. I need control over my life, even if it's just a little at first. Good. Focus is everything, she said. But Alex, don't forget about Ryan. He'll make mistakes if you watch carefully. I smirked. I've been thinking about that. Every time he acts confident, he leaves cracks. Small ones. I just need to spot them. Emily's eyes lit up. Exactly. But you can't act impulsively. Gather info, see patterns, and then strike metaphorically. I nodded. I already started. I talked to some colleagues. Heard whispers about his overconfidence, his shortcuts, his arrogance. People notice him, but they don't see the cracks beneath. Good. That's your leverage, she said. Patience, Alex. Don't rush it. Let him underestimate you. I ran my hands through my hair. You know, part of me wants to just confront him. Tell him he's a fraud. Make him squirm. But I know that would ruin me too. I can't let anger control me again. Emily leaned closer. Exactly. You want him to regret underestimating you, not provoke him and lose focus. Keep your head. Use strategy, not emotion. I sighed. It's harder than I thought. I've spent so long reacting to them, letting them control the story. Now, I have to write my own narrative. She smiled faintly. And you can. You've already shown strength, Alex. Surviving alone, keeping your focus. That's more than most can manage. I shook my head. It doesn't feel like enough. I need more. Every small step I take is still overshadowed by what Ryan took. Emily reached across, gripping my hand. Then let it fuel you. But remember, small, calculated steps. Don't risk everything at once. Start by building your reputation at work. Gain trust. Show competence. Ryan's arrogance will do the rest. I nodded, thinking, I could do that. I've already started taking on extra responsibilities. People notice. It's slow, but it's working. I just need to keep momentum. Emily grinned. Good. And don't forget your allies. People you help, people you trust. They'll be your strength later. Not just against Ryan, but for yourself. I felt a spark of determination. I've always worked alone, but you're right. I need a network. Careful, but real. People who respect effort, honesty, and skill. Not connections Dad forced or Ryan manipulated. Exactly, she said. And speaking of Ryan, he's making mistakes already. He's overconfident, sloppy with details. If you keep your focus, those cracks will become windows. You'll see opportunity without him even knowing it. I smiled grimly. I see them, and I won't miss a single one. Every misstep, every slip, I'll file away in my mind. They'll all add up eventually. Emily tilted her head. Just remember, patience, Alex. Revenge or correction isn't about anger. It's about control. Use your head, not your heart. I clench my fists. Control, yes. That's what I've been missing. I can't let emotion drive me anymore. Ryan will underestimate me. Dad will underestimate me. And that's exactly how I'll win. Emily's eyes sparkled. Good. You're already stronger than you realize. Now it's time to act smart. I nodded, feeling a rare clarity. I'll build my life step by step, earn respect, gather leverage, and watch as their arrogance crumbles. Slowly, quietly, deliberately. And when the time is right, they'll see me, not as weak, not as the passive brother, but as someone they can't ignore. She smiled. That's the Alex I know. Don't rush it, and don't let them see you sweat. Patience and focus. That's your first move. I exhaled, looking out the window at the bustling street. Then this is it. No more running, no more reacting. Every step I take from now on, it's mine. Mine to control, mine to win. I couldn't stop thinking about Ryan. Every conversation, every deal he'd made, something didn't sit right. I needed answers. I called Emily. I need your advice, I said when she answered. Again, she teased, though her voice was serious. You sound tense. I am tense. Ryan, he's not as untouchable as he looks. I've been digging quietly. He's making alliances, questionable ones. People he shouldn't trust, people who will betray him eventually. Emily's tone softened. Alex, that's useful, but dangerous too. Don't let curiosity turn into obsession. I know, but I can't ignore it. If I act carefully, I can see him make mistakes without risking myself. I've got to gather evidence, understand the cracks in his armor. There was a pause. Evidence for what? She asked. For the moment, I decide. To prove he's not invincible. That karma will catch him if I wait. My voice was low, deliberate. I keep thinking, should I sabotage him now? Or wait and let his own arrogance destroy him? Emily sighed. Alex, patience. Let him expose himself. Don't be reckless. Every time you intervene, you risk giving him leverage over you. I ran a hand over my face. You're right. I want revenge so badly I feel in my bones. But if I'm smart, I can let it happen naturally. Let his own actions bury him. Her voice was firm. Exactly. You've survived this far by being careful. Don't ruin that by rushing. I thought about Jason Lee, Ryan's closest ally. I overheard Ryan and Jason planning something shady. They're using family friends, twisting them to support Ryan. Jason thinks he's untouchable like Ryan. But there's always a flaw. Always. Emily nodded. Keep watching. Take notes. Patterns emerge if you're patient. That's how you'll beat him without stepping into a trap. I clench my fists. Every time I see him smile, I feel this urge. Urge to confront him, call him out, show him I'm still here. But if I do, it'll tip him off. He's smart. He'll cover his tracks immediately. You have to outsmart him, Alex. Not outshout him, Emily reminded me. I exhaled slowly. I hate that it has to be this way. I hate waiting while he flaunts what's mine. But I keep thinking karma is already working. His arrogance blinds him. He thinks he's safe. Emily's voice was calm. Exactly. Let him fall into his own mistakes. Your role isn't to push him. It's to be ready when the moment comes. I pictured Ryan laughing, oblivious to the webs he'd spun. Every lie he's told, every hand he's shaken under false pretenses, it's all documented in my mind. Every weakness, every slip. And Jason, he'll be a liability eventually. Good, Emily said. See the whole picture, Alex. Don't let emotion dictate your moves. Wait, observe, prepare, and when the moment is right, act. I lean back, my mind racing. It's not easy. The betrayal, the anger, they burn inside me. I feel like I'm standing on a cliff, watching him dance around below, and I can't push him off yet. Then use the fire, she said. Let it sharpen your focus, not your temper. That's your strength. I nodded, feeling a flicker of control. I'll watch him carefully. I'll let his arrogance expose him. Jason thinks he's safe too. One slip from him and the whole plan collapses. I just need to be ready. Emily's tone softened. Alex, remember, this is about you too. Not just revenge. It's about reclaiming your life, your dignity. Don't lose that sight. I stared at the notebook I brought. Every observation, every betrayal, Every hint of arrogance Ryan displayed, I'd write it down. Every small misstep, every lie, I'd be ready. I won't rush, I whispered to myself. I'll let them fall naturally. Ryan and Jason, they'll make the mistakes. And when they do, I'll be there. Calm, prepared, unshakable. Emily's voice rang in my mind, steady and wise. Patience, Alex. Always patience. I closed the notebook, gripping it tight. Rage and desire for revenge still burned, but beneath it, a growing sense of control. Finally, I felt like I was learning the rules of their game. And this time, I'd play it perfectly. I sat across from Emily at the coffee shop, staring at my hands. I saw it today. Ryan, he's reckless. Reckless? She asked, eyebrows raised. Yes, I overheard him with a client. He's making risky deals, promises he can't keep, and he thinks no one notices. But everyone notices. Emily leaned forward. Good. That's a weakness. What are you thinking? I shook my head. Part of me wants to confront him, show him I know, but I realized that's just feeding my anger. That's not growth. That's revenge. Exactly, she said softly. You've come far, Alex. You don't need to strike blindly. Let him expose himself. I exhaled. It's hard, though, seeing him smug, thinking he's untouchable. Part of me wants to ruin him instantly. Emily's voice was firm. That's emotion. You've learned to act strategically. This is your test. Do you react, or do you rise above? I leaned back in my chair, thinking, I've been reacting for too long. I've been chasing him, reacting to every smile, every arrogance. It's exhausting. I want to rise, show that I'm stronger without sinking to his level. Emily nodded. Then do it. Use his mistakes, not your anger, as the weapon. I thought about the meeting I'd witnessed. Ryan had overpromised, miscalculated numbers, and alienated allies. He's isolating himself, I muttered. Every move he makes pushes people away. He's blind to it. Good, Emily said. You've been patient. Now trust that patience. Let him dig his own hole. You focus on your growth. I ran my fingers over a letter I still carried from Dad, a half-hearted birthday note filled with praise for Ryan. You know him? I've held on to this too long. It's like a chain. I need to let it go. Emily's eyes softened. Then do it. Symbolically, Alex. You've done the work inside. Now, finish it outside. I took a deep breath and set the letter on fire in the ashtray beside my coffee. Watching it curl and blacken, I felt a weight lift. There, I said quietly. Gone. Not just the paper, but the hold it had over me. Emily smiled. Exactly. That's your closure. You're freeing yourself from dependency, from their control. I nodded. It feels good. Scary but good. Like I'm stepping into my own life, finally. She leaned closer. And Ryan? He'll continue to stumble. But your path isn't revenge. It's growth. The stronger you get, the clearer your life becomes, and the less his actions matter. I exhaled slowly. I think I understand now. I don't need to hit him with a blast of anger or proof. I just need to be better than him. Smarter, patient, unshakable. Emily's voice was gentle. Exactly. Your actions, your life, your success, they'll speak louder than words or confrontation ever could. I leaned back, feeling a strange calm. For the first time, I'm not just surviving. I'm building something that's mine. Independent. Not tied to them. Not tied to their approval. Not tied to anger. Emily smiled faintly. And that's the ultimate victory, Alex. Not revenge, but autonomy. I picked up the notebook I carried everywhere, flipping through my observations, my thoughts, my plans. Every misstep Ryan makes. I'll see it, but I won't be waiting to punish him. I'll just keep building myself. Let life expose him, and I'll be ready. Better than ever. She nodded. Patience, Alex. You're mastering it. I looked out the window at the city streets, people moving in and out of their lives, unaware of my internal storm and my plans. It's time to live for me now, I whispered. Not for Dad, not for Ryan, not for anyone. My choices, my life, my growth. That's what matters. Emily's eyes met mine, and that's exactly what you're going to do. I exhaled, feeling the old tension release. I'm done reacting. I'm done seeking validation. From now on, I rise. I got the call from Emily first thing in the morning. Alex, you need to sit down, she said, voice a mix of disbelief and amusement. What happened? I asked, tension tight in my chest. Ryan, he's collapsing. Financially, socially, even legally. His reckless deals, shortcuts, and arrogance, they're catching up to him. I swallowed hard. Finally, I muttered. But it feels strange. Satisfaction mixed with sadness. For what? The family I lost. Emily's tone was gentle. It's natural, Alex. You're seeing justice, but also mourning the illusion of what you wish they could be. I nodded slowly. I never imagined it would feel so empty. The revenge isn't mine to take. Life is doing it. And I didn't have to stoop. I just survived, learned, and waited. A memory flashed. Dad's dismissal. Ryan's smirk. All those years of loyalty thrown away. I clenched my fists. And now he's facing the consequences. I can't help but feel a little relief. Emily laughed softly. Relief is fine. Just don't let it cloud your growth. You're rising above, remember? I exhaled slowly. I am. I'm seeing the cracks widen. Ryan's allies are abandoning him. Contracts are falling through. Even Jason, he's starting to panic. The web he built is collapsing. Emily tilted her head. And you? How does it feel watching that from the sidelines? Empowering and sad, I admitted. Empowering because I'm still standing, building my life. Sad because I lost what I should have had. Family, trust, love. She nodded. That's the complexity of it. Karma is serving justice, but it doesn't fix personal loss. It just balances actions. I laughed bitterly. Balancing actions more like a slow, painful reminder of who I trusted. Ryan called me selfish once. Funny, isn't it? Now he's facing consequences while I'm finally free. Emily's voice softened. Freedom isn't just about them failing. It's about you mastering patience and moral clarity. You're seeing that, Alex. You've earned it. I stared out the window at the bustling street below. And then it happened. I ran into him. Ryan. Face to face. His usual smirk was gone. Fear, regret, something human flickered in his eyes. Emily leaned forward, intrigued. Did he say anything? Yes. He whispered, almost ashamed. Alex, I never meant for this to happen. I shook my head. I wanted to laugh. I wanted to yell. But I didn't. Instead, I said, Ryan, it's too late. And walked away. Nothing more needed. Emily smiled faintly. Perfect. You didn't stoop. You let life speak for itself. And you spoke with your actions, not words. I exhaled, feeling a strange calm wash over me. Seeing him falter, it's bittersweet. I can't undo the past, can't make him care. But I can move forward. I can build, grow, and finally live my own life. Emily nodded. And that's the real victory. The consequences he faces aren't your joy, they're life's. Your triumph is in your resilience, patience, and moral clarity. I leaned back, closing my eyes. I used to think revenge would feel satisfying. Now, I know it's irrelevant. Strength, wisdom, and control, that's what matters. Let him regret. Let him face karma. I'll rise above. Emily's voice was soft but firm. And you will, Alex. You're already rising. I opened my eyes, a clear determination settling in me. Every step I've taken, work, patience, strategic observation, has brought me here. I'm stronger, smarter, unshakable. I don't need approval from Dad or validation from Ryan. I'm enough. Emily smiled. Exactly. That's independence, Alex. True freedom. I exhaled, finally allowing a small smile. It's strange satisfaction and sorrow together. But I understand it now. Life delivers justice in its own time. I just needed to endure, observe, and grow. Emily nodded. And you did. That's the difference between those who react and those who rise. You chose to rise. I looked out the window once more, watching the city move around me. Ryan's downfall would continue, but it no longer mattered to me. I had my own life, my own growth, my own freedom. Karma had struck, yes, but I had already won by mastering myself. I whispered to myself, almost in awe, I've survived, I've grown, and now nothing can shake me. I walked into Dad's study, the room heavy with memories I no longer wanted. The leather chair, the shelves of awards, it all felt smaller now, diminished by everything that had happened. Alex, Dad said, not looking up from his papers. I didn't expect you here. I didn't come for your approval, I said, voice steady. I came for my own peace. He finally looked at me, eyes sharp but unreadable. Peace? After all this? You think a conversation will fix years of mistakes? I shook my head. Not fix. Understand. Closure. I've spent too long letting your choices and Ryan's arrogance dictate my life. That ends now. Dad's lips pressed tight. You're bitter. Selfish even. I stepped closer. You called me selfish before. Funny. You gave Ryan everything, dismissed me, and expected me to stay loyal. I stayed silent while you praised him, ignored me, and manipulated the family. He leaned back, shrugging. I did what I thought was best. You never understood ambition, responsibility, control. I understood plenty, I said, voice rising. I understood loyalty, honesty, hard work. I understood fairness. You never did. And Ryan, he never did either. But I'm done letting that break me. Dad's gaze hardened. You'll regret this. Walking away. Turning your back on family. I won't regret it, I said calm now. I've learned something far more valuable than your approval or inheritance. I've learned to trust myself, to build my own life, to define my worth on my terms. He sighed almost tiredly. I never thought you'd see it that way. You always let emotion guide you. Too sensitive, too soft. I laughed softly, bitter but relieved. Sensitive, yes. Soft maybe once, but not anymore. I've survived betrayal, abandonment, arrogance. I've grown stronger, smarter, and more patient than I ever imagined. That's not weakness, that's life. Dad's eyes flickered with something I didn't recognize. Maybe surprise, maybe regret. And Ryan? You're leaving him too? Yes, I said. He's facing consequences for his choices. Karma has its course. But I won't waste my energy hating him. I'll let life handle that. My task now is my own life. He shook his head. You'll find life isn't so simple. Blood doesn't forgive easily. I'm not seeking forgiveness, Dad. I'm seeking freedom. From you, from Ryan, from the past. That's enough for me. He paused, then muttered, almost under his breath, I suppose you've changed. Too late, maybe. Maybe, I said, nodding. Maybe it is too late for us. But it's not too late for me. I've paid my dues in pain, patience, and reflection. I won't pay them again for anyone else's mistakes. Dad's shoulders slumped slightly. You always were stubborn. I am, I said, a small smile tugging at my lips. And now it works for me, not against me. I'm done chasing approval, done letting anger or grief control me. I rise on my own terms. I turn to leave, feeling the old tension in the room dissolve with every step. Goodbye, Dad. Not with hatred, not with vengeance, but with clarity. I am finally free. He didn't respond, and that was fine. Silence was all I needed. Outside, the air felt different, lighter. I inhaled deeply, feeling the weight of years lifting. Ryan would continue to face the fallout of his choices. Dad would remain entrenched in his pride. But me? I had my life, my control, my growth. That was my victory. I whispered to myself, almost as if sealing the moment. I am my own. I am enough. And I will never let anyone control me again. For the first time in years, I felt whole. Not because anyone acknowledged me, not because I had revenge, but because I had reclaimed myself. I met Emily at the cafe where we first planned my comeback. The same corner booth, the same quiet corner where no one noticed us. She smiled as I slid into the seat across from her. You look different, Alex, she said, soft but knowing. I feel different, I replied. I finally feel in control. Free, not because of Ryan's failures or Dad's mistakes, but because I earned it. Emily nodded. You did, and you've done it without letting anger consume you. That's strength. I laughed lightly. I used to think strength was about fighting, about proving people wrong. Now I know it's about walking away, standing firm in yourself, no matter what chaos surrounds you. She tilted her head. And Ryan? Last I heard, he's facing the consequences fully. Financial ruin, damaged relationships, karma doing its work. I shrugged calm. I saw him briefly yesterday. His arrogance is gone, replaced by regret, I think. Not that I care anymore. I feel no glee, no satisfaction, just closure. Justice served without me lifting a finger. Emily smiled. That's maturity. You're rising above what they did to you, not sinking into it. I sip my coffee. It's strange, though. Losing so much family love, trust, you'd think I'd be bitter forever. But I'm not. I've realized that my most important inheritance isn't money or approval or inheritance papers. It's me. My mind. My resilience. Emily's eyes softened. And you've kept that, Alex. That's priceless. I leaned back, feeling the quiet hum of the cafe. Dad, he's left with his pride. Ryan with his mistakes. And me? I walked away. I've rebuilt myself. Not for revenge, not for validation. Just for me. She reached across, touching my hand. You've grown so much. I'm proud of you. Not just for surviving, but for becoming who you are. I nodded. I couldn't have done it without you, Em. You were my anchor, my sounding board. You kept me from rushing, from letting anger rule me. You reminded me that patience and strategy mattered more than immediate gratification. She smiled faintly. And you listened. That made all the difference. I exhaled, thinking back over the years of betrayal, heartbreak, and struggle. It wasn't easy. Watching Ryan smile, hearing Dad's dismissals, it broke me sometimes. But I've learned to take the pain, the lessons, and convert them into something useful. Something lasting. Emily nodded. That's growth, Alex. That's strength. Not everyone survives what you survived. I smiled faintly. I still feel the weight, sometimes the sadness of what could have been. But it doesn't control me anymore. I choose how to live. I choose who I let affect me. That's freedom. She leaned back, sipping her coffee. So what now? I looked out the window, city lights reflecting off the glass. Now, I keep walking, building my career, my life. No shortcuts. No looking back. I've learned that the real victory isn't in seeing Ryan fail. It's in knowing I didn't let him define me. That I stood my ground, stayed true to myself, and grew stronger. Emily smiled warmly. And you'll keep rising. You've earned it. I nodded, feeling the calm settle deep inside. I've inherited more than money ever could. I've inherited my own strength, my own independence, my own sense of worth. That's a fortune no one can take away. Emily reached across again. And I'll be here, watching you rise. Proud of every step. I took a deep breath, letting the finality of the moment sink in. Thank you, Em, for everything. For staying with me through the chaos, the heartbreak, the waiting. I wouldn't be standing here without you. She squeezed my hand gently. You did it, Alex. You finally walked away, and you're stronger for it. I smiled, truly at last. Yes, stronger. Free. And finally, ready to live my life, my way. Outside, the city moved on, unaware of the battles fought and won. I felt a quiet satisfaction, not of revenge, but of growth, clarity, and freedom. The past had shaped me, but it no longer controlled me. I whispered to myself, almost reverently, this is mine, my life, my strength, and no one can take it from me.